welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to the second episode of Talking Cubs, the podcast. The reboot of Talking Cubs, as I really didn't do the old one. But today we're back with episode 2. It's been almost a week since I've done that. Enough time for the Cubs to embarrass themselves in 2 straight series and go on their second 11-game losing streak of the season. Now, they started off at home against the Brewers with a 4-game set, and really, that was just a bad series. Now, they had plenty of times and moments. Now, really, they just could not capitalize on anything, which has really been something they have not been able to do all season. First game of the year, of the series, I forgot what that score was. It was either the first or second game where it was a close game, and the rest of the 2 games, you just didn't see any fight in the Cubs. The pitching was just terrible. Jake Arrieta was terrible in his start as he has been against the Brewers this season. Absolutely terrible against the Brewers by Jake Arrieta this season. And I'm so glad the Cubs decided to finally release him. So that happened. Padres thinking about picking him up, which I think would be a very interesting move. But what they're thinking about doing is getting him for 1 or 2 starts while Yu Darvish is currently on the IL. But I still don't think that's a great idea by the Padres. And then they'll probably release him. But I don't know. I feel like that's kind of unnecessary. Anyway, final game of that Brewers series, 17-4 your final. And just a very unpretty series pitching-wise and offense-wise. It just seems like we are just not connected. It seems like one game will score a bunch of runs, but the pitching will score a bunch. Well, give up a bunch. And it seems like one game our offense will score 0, and it seems like the pitching will have a great game and give up 1, 2, or 3. And so that's just really how the season's going, and I don't really like it that way, but I guess that's just what happens when you have a team that is not well-rounded and has guys who are career minor leaguers and all that stuff. Anyway, then they, after that, they played. Why am I forgetting this already? Oh my God, this is embarrassing. Who the heck did the Cubs play? Oh, the Marlins. Yeah. Duh, geez, how did I forget that? That was embarrassing. I am so sorry, everybody. Anyway, Cubs lose game 1 of the series to the Marlins. Average game. Pitching was okay. Offense wasn't that great. Could have been better. Forget the final score of that one. Second game of the season. Absolutely terrible. Horrible game. We were winning 2-1 after the first inning, which we rarely do. We usually score all our runs in the mid and late innings. And then we are leading 4-1 after the top of the second. And guess what our pitching and Adbert Alzolay wants to do? They just want to crap their pants and let the Miami Marlins score 11 runs in the inning. What? If I told you, you'd probably believe it with the kind of season the Cubs are having. Now that's just terrible. So it became a 4-1 Cubs lead, who just needed to have a good pitching day, and they would have, and tack on a few more runs, and they might have had a victory for the first time in a while. But the pitching said, no way, we want to blow this like we have done all season. So that's what they decided to do. And Marlins scored 11 runs and were winning 12-4. Now the Cubs ended up having a good offensive game, but the pitching after that wasn't all that bad. We only gave 3 more runs, and the offense scored 8 more runs. When you have 10 runs, you still want to get blown out by 4 runs. Final score of that game, 14-10. And that one, all sorts of stuff to hate on that one. Anyway, after that, the series would wrap up in the third game there in Miami. And I didn't get to see this game, but we lost 4-1, and offense did nothing. Pitching, another good start by Alec Mills, which is a good sign. But when you have an offense who just, whenever you give up a bunch of runs, likes to score a bunch of runs, and when you have a good outing, they like to score very few runs. You aren't going to win a lot of games giving up 2 runs like Mills did. Now, it's just sad and hard to watch, and I'm really just not watching a bunch of Cubs games anymore, so I feel like I have better things to do with my life than just suffer on watching those games. Anyway, Cubs go to Cincinnati. No, they're back home, I think. Anyway, maybe they're on the road, maybe they're back home. Anyway, Cubs face the Reds. Game 1 starters. Justin Steele making his second MLB starting appearance against Wade Miley, who has a no-hitter this year. So it should be an interesting matchup. Should be an interesting series. I'm not expecting the Cubs to do anything that great in that series, but we will see if they can even get a win. A win seems like a victory this season for the Chicago Cubs. Anyway, thank you so much for watching Episode 2 of Talkin Cubs. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you all next time in the next episode. Goodbye, everybody.